We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Tonight, our top story, a Suncoast town divided by two counties. One area of Longboat Key is in Manatee County, while the southern portion is in Sarasota County.
Town leaders want to make the entire Key part of Sarasota County, and for the first time, they're bringing that push to the county commission. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live on Longboat Key with how the change could affect residents. Jess?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. These county lines have been here longer than the town of Longboat Key itself. That means the town has always had to deal with things like two separate elections, two sheriff's offices, and two different sets of county law. But it's a tax discrepancy that's really making town leaders look at changing county lines.
The county line is drawn right here, near the Sea Club Beach Resort. That means about 4,800 Longboat Key residents are living in Sarasota County, another 2,500 in Manatee County.
That 1/3 of our population is paying the $2.6 million a year more than if those properties were in Sarasota County.
According to an analysis by the town of Longboat Key, Manatee County residents in town are paying more money in both county and school taxes than the Sarasota County residents, and not getting any extra services. If the town was all a part of Sarasota County, those Manatee County residents would save $2.6 million.
As property values increase, the equity question between the town taxpayers gets more and more important, I think.
For a $500,000 property in Manatee County, homeowners are looking at $764 a year in tax savings. For a $1 million property, they're looking at $1,500 in savings.
It would probably be a good thing for Longboat.
Management at the Lazy Lobster, which is on the Manatee County side of Longboat Key, is in support of the change, and not just for the savings.
I just think the amount of people it would bring, and the one thing that these folks out here really don't want is more people, whereas we can definitely deal with more people.
But the merge wouldn't be good news for everyone. Manatee County would lose $22 million a year in tax revenue. That's an $11 million loss for the county government and another $11 million loss for the school district. While it's only 3% of the district's total budget, the district is already struggling to keep their fund balance at a legal level and looking to raise taxes. If Longboat Key becomes one county, students could still attend whatever school they wanted.
Perhaps put in a transition period where instead of just it stops on this date, there's some transition so they can sort of phase down the revenue and make adjustments.
The town of Longboat Key will spend the next couple of months sharing the idea with the community and the residents who live here and getting their thoughts on it. Then, in February, they will meet with the Manatee County Commission. Now, to make this a reality, there will have to be a bill that is proposed and passed in state law. Reporting live on Longboat Key, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Jess. A follow-up now on the effort to build a hospital in the city of Northport. The city's hospital task force was disbanded today after presenting their findings to the city commission. The group was formed to find a healthcare company willing to build a hospital, and they were successful. Recently, Universal Health Services submitted an application to the state for a certificate of need. If it is approved, Universal could build a hospital within city limits. That would be some huge news for those who live in Northport and are frustrated that the nearest hospital is Sarasota Memorial, which is nearly 45 minutes away.
A Hillsborough County man is now charged with murder after his girlfriend's body was found in a burning minivan in Osprey. Michael Clark is accused of killing Kristen Kelly. He's charged with murder, arson, tampering with evidence, and possession of cocaine. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say the investigation began on October 15th with an accident on I-75. Deputies found a minivan on fire with a woman dead inside. Clark told deputies at the time he didn't know how the fire started, how the woman died, or how he got to the Sarasota area. Investigators later determined the van was intentionally set on fire. A gas can was inside the van and a lighter was found nearby. Detectives believe Clark beat Kelly to death, put her back in the van, and then drove south on I-75, set the van on fire. Clark and Kelly dated for several years and have 3 children together.
Manatee County Sheriff's investigators say they have uncovered a drug stash worth hundreds of thousands of dollars inside a Bradenton home. Last night, deputies executed a search warrant at a home on River Sound Terrace. They say they found marijuana, 83 vials of THC oil for e-cigarettes, and 331 packets of THC wax. Investigators say the total street value of those drugs is around $199,000. Thomas DeLandro faces drug possession charges with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a church. And another huge drug problem plaguing the Suncoast, the opioid epidemic, will be the focus of a meeting tonight. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is inviting everyone out to supper with the sheriff. Captain Todd Shear will talk to the crowd about their programs that deal with opioids. Supper with the sheriff will take place at the Police Athletic League in Bradenton, and it starts at 6 o'clock.
A strong finish for this year's sea turtle nesting season. More than 4,500 nests were recorded on beaches from Longboat Key through Venice from May 1st through the end of October. That's according to Mote Marine Lab. And of those nests, 4,424 were laid by threatened loggerhead sea turtles, while 79 came from threatened green sea turtles. Even more exciting, 2 of the nests in the loggerhead group are being tested to determine if they are hybrids from a loggerhead and green mating. Although the total nest count did not surpass the record set last year, Mote says it recorded the highest number of green sea turtle nests in its 36-year history of turtle conservation. So that's great news.
Yeah, great news.
Another good year for turtle nesting season.
Yeah.
Despite some tropical weather and Hurricane Irma and all of that affected our coastline.
I know, and a lot of people over at Mote Marine were concerned that some of those sea turtle nests were going to get washed away, so that's great.
All right, let's get a check on our weather today. Another gorgeous day on the Suncoast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, we were lucky that the winds basically came out of the east and northeast with Irma throughout much of the storm. We did have that west flow behind it, but not as much as we saw that east-northeasterly wind, which was basically offshore and causing less of a problem. We are looking at high pressure now, bringing us that east wind again. It is wrapping around this area of high pressure, which is off the Carolina coast. That east wind will stay with us through the next several days. Now, it looks like we have a slight chance for showers late this weekend, but not much at all here. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Currently, it's nice out there. 79 degrees, lots of sunshine. The dew point is at 63. Winds are out of the west. Now, that sea breeze has just kicked in along the west coast of Florida, so it'll make things a little bit cooler right near the coast. Pressure 30.09. That's way up there. That's high pressure, and that continues to dominate now. The forecast through this evening, each night a little bit warmer from what we started off at on Monday. 67 degrees by 11 o'clock. Under fair skies, and current temperatures up and down the coast in key cities like Punta Gorda, Northport, right now in the low to mid 80s there. So a little bit warmer. Cortez at 78 in the Gulf water temperature now. At 2 is starting to warm back up. It's at 74 degrees. Well, much more in the forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. ABC 7's business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. Richard, another record falling on Wall Street today, correct?
Oh, Jacqueline, only $23,500. What can I say? It just kind of comes and goes in $500 lots. In fact, for the 55th time this year, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at a record high. Believe it or not, today, the reason for it was that President Trump announced what most people had been expecting, and that is that Jay Powell will be, in fact, replacing Janet Yellen as the chairperson of the Federal Reserve Board. Mr. Powell has been on the Federal Reserve Board for 5 years. He originally was appointed by Barack Obama in 2012. His background is very interesting. Undergraduate degree at Princeton, graduate of Georgetown Law School, and also worked for George H.W. Bush in the Treasury Department, obviously quite some time ago. So Wall Street was very pleased to hear that looks like Janet Yellen one more time. And as a result of that, we had a pretty strong day. Let's take a look at the record for the Dow. There you see the Dow up 81 points, more than 1/3 of 1% at 23,516.26. That on a volume of 819 million shares. The NASDAQ, how about a non-event, down 2/100ths of 1%. Less than 2 points, 6,714.94. That on volume of 1,607,000,000 shares. Well, down 2/100ths, how about up 2/100ths? The S&P exactly that, up a half of a point at 2,579.85. Shares of Yum Brands were up by more than 6% today after the company said that its sales for the third quarter came in well ahead of expectations, as did its bottom line profits. The company, which owns KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, said that its Pizza Hut division, which had been struggling, is finally turning things around and really doing very well. And KFC, and I found this amazing, KFC has now reported an increase in same-store sales for 13 consecutive quarters. That means their sales have gone up every quarter for more than the last 3 years. That, my friends, is impressive, no question.
People love their chicken, I guess. That's what that says. Well, you've also got some news on Apple this afternoon, Richard.
Yeah, and then talking about impressive, the announcement was only at 4:30 this afternoon, so you won't see a reaction until tomorrow. But Apple's earnings announcement was just stunning, way ahead of what Wall Street had been looking for. So I don't usually get in the prediction business, but I'm going to predict shares of Apple just might go higher tomorrow. I'm going to go out on a limb on that one.
Pretty safe bet, for sure. Richard, thanks so much for the update.
You're very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, after delays and speculation, the wait is finally over. Republicans in the House releasing their tax bill. We'll take a look at that plan.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, are you finding that as you get older, it's becoming more difficult to get to sleep? We have some tricks you can try to get the rest that you need coming up in Health Smart.
Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The wait is now over. Republicans in the House releasing their tax bill today, promising tax breaks for middle-class Americans and a major cut to corporate taxes.
For the first time, we're seeing the details of the bill that President Trump says will be the largest tax cut in American history. ABC's Lana Zach has more on what that could mean for you.
I had an excellent meeting today.
Together with the president, House Republicans celebrated the release of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, saying many Americans will be able to file their taxes on a postcard.
It will be the biggest tax reduction in the history of our country.
Among the major changes, the corporate tax rate will be slashed from 35% to 20%. The standard deduction for middle-class families will roughly double from $12,000 to $24,000 for married couples. And the child tax credit will increase from $1,000 to $1,600.
With this plan, the typical family of four will save $1,182 a year on their taxes.
But there are ways that Americans may be paying more in taxes. Mortgage interest deductions on future home purchases will be capped at $500,000, and state and local income tax deductions will be eliminated, and property tax deductions capped at $10,000, a blow to families living in high-tax areas. That last point and the price tag on the cuts have some Republicans expressing reservations.
Well, I think over 10 years, we're looking at $1.5 trillion roughly. That's some of the things we got to get our arms around.
Democrats say they're skeptical of a sweeping overhaul written behind closed doors.
They're ashamed of this bill. The Republicans know the more this bill is exposed out there, the less people like it.
The last time tax reform happened, it was a bipartisan effort that took about 2 years to hammer out. But President Trump says he wants this done in about 2 months, calling it a big, beautiful Christmas present. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
You may have noticed Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan standing next to the Speaker of House, Paul Ryan, at today's announcement. Buchanan showing his support after legislation to fix the nation's tax code was introduced. Buchanan issuing this statement soon afterwards saying, quote, "We are one step closer to meaningful tax reform that will benefit all Americans. This bill cuts taxes for middle-class families as well as small businesses, simplifies a broken tax code, and jumpstarts the economy. I look forward to meeting with my constituents in the weeks ahead to discuss how the bill can be improved further as it makes its way through Congress." Vice President Mike Pence is in Orlando tonight discussing President Trump's tax plan. You can see him arriving here at Orlando International Airport just a few hours ago. Pence, along with Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue, is expected to meet with Governor Rick Scott, local businesses, community leaders, and families to discuss the need for tax reform. But nothing needs to be done with our weather.
No, it's perfect
Isn't
here.
it?
Yeah, he's getting a good day today.
Yeah.
In fact, everyone here should be just savoring these days because they are just outstanding. Temperatures in the low 80s, low humidity.
Yeah.
It's going to get a little bit warmer, though. But the good news is that we gain an hour this weekend, so we get to enjoy it for an extra hour.
There we go.
Time change, make sure that you make your time change before you hit the sack on Saturday night or Sunday morning. Otherwise, you're going to be early for your appointments. That's right, early. That's not a bad thing. It's better than being late, right? Again, flip it back 1 hour, fall back. Remember, always that thing to do during fall. Spring forward when you're in spring. Now, Lakewood Ranch webcam showing beautiful weather today, and it looks like it's going to be the same for Music on Main tomorrow, which should be a lot of fun with all this beautiful weather around. I'm sure we're expecting a big crowd out there, so come on out and hear some great music and just enjoy the weather. Evening planner looks good tonight. Fair skies all the way through 11. Temperatures each night getting a little bit warmer. 69 degrees expected by 11 o'clock tonight. And we'll see pretty much similar conditions again tomorrow. So the cold air has moved on, and temperatures now expected to be into the mid 60s to lower 60s. 159, we could see some upper 50s in Arcadia, Wauchula, as well as into Highlands County. 61 in Parrish, 64 in Braden, and 66 Anna Maria. So these temperatures are slightly above average, and I think that's what we'll see over the upcoming days. Temperatures maybe 2 to 3 degrees warmer than normal. Now, the radar picture not depicting any rain here. A few showers down to our south near the Keys and into the Florida Straits. With a system, though, to the east of the state, we'll see a little bit better chance for maybe some coastal showers along the from, say, Miami all the way up to Jacksonville on Saturday and Sunday. 79 right now. Dew point is at 63. We saw this earlier. West wind, a little sea breeze has developed. Forecast tomorrow into the low 80s at the beaches. We'll see mid 80s inland, and we'll have just a few clouds in the afternoon. Temperatures are rebounding quite nicely after a pretty chilly start this week. Lows tonight will be in the mid 60s to lower 60s. I mentioned we could see some upper 50s well inland, but it's unlikely. Looks like Gainesville right around 59 degrees for a low. And then tomorrow's highs there it is, 84 degrees. So back into the low to mid 80s we go. And that should be fairly standard, I think, for the next 7 days. We're not going to see much change there as a result of this high pressure ridge, which is really holding on and will continue to do so through the weekend and beyond. Winds out of the east and northeast, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Good boating weather. Boating weather looks to be good all the way through the next 5 days. No real threat of any kind of advisories being issued. The only downside is we may see a little bit of patchy fog forming during the overnight hours, but that would be about it. And no real threat of any significant rainfall across the southeast for that matter. I mentioned a few showers. Here it is, a little trough of low pressure to the east of the Bahamas and east of Florida. You'll see this working its way toward the west, but eventually it kind of opens up. There's a little rotation and spin with this particular model heading off toward the Bahamas. And then we see that moisture returning along the east coast. There could be a few inland showers on Saturday afternoon. The rain chance not all that high. Along the east coast, a little bit better chance for a few scattered showers. Maybe an increase in moisture, too, over the weekend. Now, the rest of the U.S., all is quiet in Texas. They're celebrating there in Houston and in Chicago. Some showers and cold air in Wisconsin and also into Minnesota tonight. The general track is more west to east. So there's no real drop of any significant cold air right now. You got to get a trough of low pressure to really set up to bring us that cool air, but that is not in the forecast right now. Some showers moving through near Detroit, up near Toronto, as well as into Canada, near Ottawa and Montreal. Kind of a wet day there today. For boaters, I mentioned, great weather out there for boating. Light chop on the bays and inland waters. Northeast winds turn to the north at 5 to 10, and the extended forecast, there it is. Boy, it looks pretty much the same right through the next 7 days. Just a 10% chance for a few late day showers. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In first alert traffic right now, no major crashes in the area, but we're seeing some slowdowns. Northbound lanes of I-75 right near University Parkway and Bee Ridge Road, but not too bad at this hour. Remember, you can get the latest information on traffic and breaking and local news by downloading the latest updated version of our news app. iPhone users should go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Jacqueline?
Thank you so much, Scott. In health news tonight, as you get older, are you finding it harder to get a good night's sleep? Well, it's not as uncommon as you may think. Some people find that they need less sleep as they age, but most still aim for 7 or 8 hours each night, which is about right for adults older than 65, according to the National Sleep Foundation. Disrupted sleep and still feeling tired when you wake up every day are not a normal part of aging. A few simple tricks for getting a good night's sleep include limiting daytime napping, not eating a heavy meal before you go to bed, turning off your electronics, relaxing before bed with a book or listening to soothing music, and getting regular exercise throughout the day. If these tips do not help or you continue to suffer from insomnia, you should talk to your doctor. Well, you may think your itchy red eyes are a side effect of allergies that you can treat with eye drops, but it may not be as simple as that. You may be suffering from an eye infection. Symptoms of allergies include redness, itching, burning, and tearing up of the eyes. Infections include the same symptoms, plus pain, a gritty feeling in the eyes, sensitivity to light, and a thick discharge. Infections generally clear up on their own, but cold compresses and lubricating eye drops can help minimize some of those symptoms. Coming up, an arrest made in a fatal shooting at a suburban Denver Walmart, plus a historic victory at the World Series. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to?
Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The manhunt for the suspect in a multiple shooting in a Denver area Walmart coming to an end this morning. Police there receiving a tip and then swiftly moving in. ABC's Clayton Sandell shows us what happened next.
This is the man police say casually walked into a busy suburban Denver Walmart last night, took out a handgun, and opened fire, ultimately killing 3 people. 47-year-old Scott Ostrom arrested when police spotted his car driving past his apartment building Thursday, about 5 miles from the scene of the crime.
This was from a tip that came in from a citizen. The officers that were in the area did a high-risk stop on the vehicle and successfully were able to take the suspect into custody.
Victims identified today as Pamela Marquez and Victor Vasquez, both of Denver, and Carlos Moreno of Thornton. Police say they still don't have a motive, but the emerging picture of Ostrom's background shows a man with serious financial problems and who was known to law enforcement. In 1990, he was arrested for harassment, sentenced to 2 days in jail. Less than 10 years later, in 1999, arrested again on a weapons charge, resisting arrest, and assault on a police officer. Those charges, all felonies, later dropped. And just 2 years ago, in September 2015, Ostrom filed for bankruptcy, listing debts totaling nearly $86,000.
There were about 5 to 6 gunshots, and we knew that we had to get out of the Walmart as soon as possible.
Thornton, Colorado police described last night's scene as mass chaos. Hundreds of shoppers inside dropping for cover and fleeing the scene when the shooting began. Authorities ultimately identifying Ostrom after reviewing surveillance video, a situation made more complicated by a few civilians pulling their own weapons. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Thornton, Colorado.
The CIA is releasing a massive amount of files from the Osama bin Laden raid of 2011. The document dump is the latest addition to the public collection dubbed Bin Laden's bookshelf. Among the files are the deceased al-Qaeda founder's personal journal. A 2014 appropriations bill requires the Director of National Intelligence to review documents obtained from that raid and then make declassified files from the review available to the public.
A blind runner says he is both excited and nervous about running in the New York Marathon. Simon Wheatcroft plans to use a phone app called Wayband to help him compete and complete that course, which uses new technology that he helped create. The app uses GPS to emit small vibrations to guide him either left or right. It also helps him avoid obstacles and other competitors throughout the race. Wheatcroft has a degenerative eye disease and was registered blind at the age of 17. He says he hopes the app can help others achieve their goals. Well, the Houston Astros are the 2017 World Series champions. They defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers last night in Game 7. The victory sending thousands of fans from across the nation and at Minute Maid Park in Houston into a frenzy of celebration. Now, this is the first World Series win for the Astros in franchise history. The Astros have spent nearly their entire existence out of playoff contention and made just one prior World Series appearance in 2005. The final score on Wednesday night was 5-1. Scott, I'm not sure if you saw that engagement at the end with Carlos Correa, I think it was. And he actually proposed to a former Miss Texas, Daniela Rodriguez.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I give him credit for all that hoopla, winning a World Series, playing that 7-game series, and then having the forethought to have a ring ready, and then while on national TV being interviewed, ask her to marry him.
It was a great video as well. If anybody wants to see it, it was pretty entertaining. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, a boom of development in Northport has officials concerned about keeping up with the rush.
What they're doing to get ahead and make safety a top priority in the community.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
We asked our customers, why is Consumer Cellular your choice in wireless?
Consumer Cellular helps me save money. It's simple and easy.
It is reliable.
I like the fact that there are no contracts.
By moving to Consumer Cellular, my cost is 50% less than it was.
They fit the plan to you.
I have everything I want with Consumer Cellular.
Their customer service is fabulous.
Customers are the #1 priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
We really appreciate the AARP discount.
AARP members get exclusive discounts.
It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number.
Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular.
Go with Consumer Cellular.
You're going to save a lot of money.
Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-368-8758. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Relion group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Relion group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Relion group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.